Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that your country's savings worth hundreds of billions of dollars can no longer be accessed. Not because the money is gone, not because the economy collapsed, but because another government decided you couldn't touch it. Sounds impossible. It already happened. Ever since that moment, something extraordinary has been happening behind the scenes. China, India, Poland, Turkey, and Singapore have all been quietly buying one asset at the fastest pace in more than 50 years. That asset is gold. What do they know that most people don't? For thousands of years, gold wasn't just valuable, it was money. Governments couldn't simply print unlimited currency because every note had to be backed by real gold. Then, in 1971, everything changed. The United States ended the dollar's link to gold, and from that day on, money was backed mainly by trust. For decades, that trust was enough. The U.S. economy was the largest in the world, the dollar dominated global trade, and almost every country held massive amounts of U.S. dollars as reserves. The system worked until the cracks began to appear. The 2008 financial crisis forced central banks to create trillions of dollars. Then came 2020. Even more money flooded the global economy. Inflation surged, debt exploded, but despite all of that, central banks still trusted the dollar. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 2022, after Russia invaded Ukraine, roughly $300 billion of Russia's foreign exchange reserves held abroad were frozen under international sanctions. For many countries, this wasn't just another news headline. It was a warning. Imagine you're responsible for protecting your nation's wealth. If political tensions rise tomorrow, could the same thing happen to your reserves? That single question changed how many governments thought about money. So what do you buy if you don't want all your national savings tied to another country's financial system? Gold. Unlike foreign financial assets, physical gold stored inside your own country is much harder for another government to freeze. It doesn't depend on another country's banking system or political relationships. For thousands of years, one thing about gold has remained remarkably consistent. It doesn't need permission to exist. That's exactly what central banks have been doing. China has steadily increased its gold reserves. India continues adding more. Poland purchased around 100 tons in a single year, and many other countries have quietly followed the same path. This isn't because they believe the dollar is about to collapse. They're reducing risk and preparing for a world where no single currency dominates forever. Most people think central banks predict the future. They don't. They prepare for uncertainty. They don't wait for the storm. They build the shelter first. That's exactly what this global gold buying trend looks like. Not panic. Preparation. So is gold replacing the dollar? Not today. Maybe not even tomorrow. But the actions of the world's most conservative financial institutions suggest they're quietly preparing for a very different future. History rarely changes overnight. It changes one quiet decision at a time. While the world watches stock markets, interest rates, and AI, the people managing trillions of dollars are quietly filling their vaults with gold. The real question isn't whether you should buy gold. The real question is, why are they? If you enjoyed this video and want to understand the hidden forces shaping the global economy, investing, and the future of money, subscribe to Wealth with Alex, because in a world full of headlines, we focus on the signals that truly matter. I'll see you in the next video.